Hi, and welcome to the video that covers all of the various topics for the Eating You Alive elementary age version of this 8-week class on healthy eating and exercise. The first lecture in the class is just where I spend some time introducing myself to your child or children and covering some personal information about me, like my family, whereabouts we live, how many pets we have, the things that I enjoy doing. And then I also cover all my qualifications, my Bachelor of Science degree in health education and behavior, and all of my certifications for personal training and exercise. In addition to the introductory video in week 1, we move on to the first actual class in week 1. In this class for week 1, we discuss water and its importance to the human body, the various effects that it can have on the body if you do not drink enough water every day, and the various effects that it can have on the body when you do drink enough water every day, how much of your body is actually made of water, how much of each section of your body or each system of your body is made of water, like your brain, your heart, your lungs, your muscles, your bones, everything, the percentages of water in each part of your body, and how a lack of water can cause these parts of your body to not work properly. We will also discuss mild dehydration and what the symptoms are to watch for and how to handle it. And we will discuss severe dehydration and what they need to do if someone they are with or if they start to suffer from the symptoms of severe dehydration. We discuss calling 911 and getting medical attention immediately, and then we discuss how and when to call 911. That's pretty much the basics. This entire first week is just based on the most important topic as far as I'm concerned, and that is making sure that you get enough water every day. Week 2 is where we start discussing the different types of food. Week 2 is the lecture where I discuss junk food, or what I like to call dead food. We'll spend some time in this particular lecture defining what junk food is so that your child will be able to recognize it whenever they see it. And we will discuss why I call it dead food. I'll define what dead food means. And we will talk about the effects that junk food can have on their body and how it has nothing but ill effects on the body, how it can make you sick, it can make you tired, and basically all of the reasons why we shouldn't eat it. In week 3, we move on from the junk food to the healthy food. In this week's lecture, in week 3, we will discuss the foods that we're supposed to eat, the foods that we're designed to eat, and I'll spend some time defining what healthy food is and how it has nothing but good effects on the body, and how we are designed to eat it and how it is designed for us to eat. And I will discuss why I call it food that is alive, and I will define that for them so that they will understand. At the end of this particular lecture, your child should be able to go to the grocery store and recognize the healthy food in addition to the junk food, and they should be able to draw the line between both. In week 4's lecture, we will continue the discussion on healthy food. It is during this week's lecture that I tell them, I want them to eat the rainbow, which basically means to eat fruits and vegetables from every color designation in the rainbow. So I will cover things like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple foods, and the various things that they do to help the body. During the week 5 lecture, we move away from the food and nutrition aspect and start covering exercise. It is during this lecture where I cover things that they may not know, like how many muscles are in the body or how many joints are in the body, and we'll discuss the different types of exercise and how they help the body and how exercise can be fun. We will talk about how every movement uses energy and where do we need to get the energy from. And we will discuss the fact that that exercise does not have to be boring, that you can make it fun, and that exercise is not just sit-ups, push-ups, and running. How exercise is dancing and skateboarding and swimming and all the fun stuff too. In week 6, we will discuss a topic that is equally as important as exercise. In this week's week 6's lecture, we're going to discuss sleep and rest and how and why they are so important to the human body, and how lack of sleep can have an effect on everything from your memory to your coordination, and how getting enough sleep can have such good effects on the body, and how it enables your brain to make connections while you're sleeping, and how it enables your brain to store while you're sleeping. It works on storing your memories and retaining the things that they've learned during the day, and how it can help the body to digest food better, or can help it to regulate its hunger hormones. There's 2 hormones in the body that govern whether or not you feel hungry or whether or not you feel full, and we'll talk about those and all of the various wonderful things that how your body repairs itself when you're asleep. So we discuss throughout this entire lecture how important sleep is to your health. In week 7, we will discuss stress. A lot of kids don't understand what stress is or how to handle it. So we will discuss the different kinds of stress. We will define stress, talk about the stages of bad stress, and we will talk about the difference between good stress and bad stress, and how some good stress every day is actually good for you. We'll talk about how bad stress can affect your health, and how good stress can have wonderful effects on your health, and how it can sharpen your reaction time, and how it can sharpen your memory and sharpen your skills. And we will also talk about a very specific type of stress, and that's the type of stress that comes from dealing with toxic friends. We will define what a toxic friend is and the steps that one would need to take in order to stop a toxic friend from being toxic to them, and if they cannot stop them from being toxic to them, how the steps that they can take to remove that toxic friend from their life for now. And we'll talk about how that doesn't mean, how removing a toxic friend for now doesn't mean that they'll never be friends again. It just means for now that that particular friend is not good for them. I will talk about how to recognize a toxic person and how to not become one yourself. In the final lecture of the class, we will discuss happiness. In this particular lecture, we will discuss happiness and how to recognize things that make them happy, and I will have them learn how to recognize the one thing that makes them really, really happy, and how they will talk about how they can work that into their everyday lives so that they're experiencing this happiness every day. We will talk about things like how they are responsible for their own happiness, how they shouldn't hold other people responsible for their own happiness, because that will be a surefire way to experience disappointment. So we talk about them making the decision to be happy every day, and how that is their decision and their responsibility, and it's their job. And we'll talk about how to become good at that job. We will spend this lecture, it will be short, but we'll spend this lecture talking about just their basic happiness and how they need to recognize it and use it every day. This is the end of the class, the end of the 8 weeks. So there is no homework in this class, and there really is no quiz at the end of this class. But at the end of each lecture, there will be a homework assignment and a quiz and a short video from the How It's Made series in YouTube. They'll be watching, each video is less than 10 minutes, and they'll be showing them how they make Cheetos, or how they make bacon, or how they make hot dogs, and the mass production of each thing, how they make butter or margarine. and the difference between the two. Some of them are kind of gross and some of them are interesting. They may find some of them boring, but that's okay. At least the information in the seed will be planted, and when they see a hot dog in the store, that video will pop into their mind as to how they make that hot dog and what goes into it. These are the basic topics of this class. If you have any questions on any of these topics, or if there's a topic that you want me to add to your particular child's class, you can call me at 407-227-2201 up until 9 p.m. any night of the week. You can text me at that same phone number, 407-227-2201, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you want a fast or immediate response to a question, text me. I tend to respond to text messages almost immediately. You can email me at CS as in Sam, C Browning at yahoo.com, and I will respond to your email very quickly. Thank you for your interest in this class, and I hope to hear from you soon.